How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. Time to get into some animation. Time to get your imagination rolling. Get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from another name that I'm probably going to mispronounce, and that is Ida Rentoul Outhwaite. And she is a wonderful artist. Really love her stuff. Gorgeous imagination and just phenomenal layout and composition. I really like this one especially. I just thought that idea of a little fairy that's so light that they float on the leaves as the leaves blow in the wind was such an interesting idea, and I love the way that she has pretty much a line of action going through this piece, from these birds that kind of lead into the clouds, that lead into the leaves, that lead into the main character, and then you've got the sense of the wind blowing as well, with you see the drag in her hair and everything. Just a lovely piece overall. I urge you guys to check out some more stuff from her. I'll throw a link in the description below as well. But I just thought she was really wonderful, and not someone who gets nearly recommended or praised enough, I think, in the art community for sure. This one I really liked as well. I thought just the characters here and the simple black and white style really augmented the piece rather than, I think, took away from it. I love the bubbles. I love this whole little like tea party under the sea with these like fish. It's kind of interesting. I wonder what the thinking process was, that the mermaid would be half human up top and half fish. But this merman, I'm interested. See, it gets me. This piece is great because it gets me wondering about the story behind it, the story beat, and what being, because this guy seems to be mostly mermaid with just the hands being and the head being man. Interesting. I love images that invite the viewer or the audience to start thinking about the piece and start wondering about what's going on here. What was the reasoning behind this? What's anything that can cause you to kind of make up a narrative or a story to it, I think really is a successful illustration or animation, where you're really thinking about what was the thought process of either the artists or the characters involved in the piece as well. But I did want to share a quote with you guys, and this one's a little bit funky compared to some of the other ones, but I thought it was really great. And she said, "How can one remain really inspired when leg-of-mutton matters constantly intervene?" And this was a great quote because it was talking about she ended up being a mother of 4 as well, and sort of had to slow down with her artwork for a little while and then picked back up later. But I thought that was interesting, and I liked the leg-of-mutton matters quote of just how to manage basically your daily life and those things that are not creative but that allow you to be able to be creative. You gotta take care of the necessary things around you so that you can have the time to invest into your imagination, your creativity, and building those things that you dream about and taking another step in your journey. And it's about the managing of that, and I think there's an important thing to not let that stuff get in the way. But it's a balance. Some days I think are a lot more difficult than others, but it's definitely something to think about, and I think that it's not something that gets talked about enough in creativity, is trying to create the mental and physical space for you to be creative as well, and to put all that, be able to set aside all those other things so that you can focus on whatever it is that you want to create and work on and take your journey with. So let's go ahead and get into some animation. Before I ramble on for too long, we're going to be using the Goon rig. Again, it's part of the How to Cheat in Maya series. It's available at kennyroy.com. I'll throw a link in the description below. It's not a free rig, but it's still pretty low cost entry. It's a rig that I really enjoy. I think it's a really well built rig that's able to get some nice animation and some nice posing and movement out of fairly with a little bit of ease. If you're not following along what we're doing, as opposed to kind of what we've been doing in the past, is we're doing more longer form animation, so probably like 5-part or 4 parts series. This one that we're currently working on is going to be a jump and a slide down the pole and land. So it's going to have well, let's play it. And again, we've only done just really kind of a rough posing and timing pass on this thing, so we've got a lot to do. This one's still in the real early rough stages, but the main idea for what we're going to be doing is there. I think for today's video we'll probably work on getting this jump working right. There's a lot that's needing to be fixed here, and smoothing out that arc and the path of action and our spacing a little bit better through there. And then time permitting, if we do a fairly good pass on that stuff, I'd like to get the run and jump up there working as well, because right now we just kind of have our spacing in there. And I think that's what we'll hit up today, because I think the rest of it, I'm not saying it's great, but it doesn't totally detract me from the scene. Like this jump is just so broken since we have these poses in there that I really don't want to go too much further. I can't look at this thing with those such broken poses in there. So let's work on that. The main goal of doing these videos each and every day, though, is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own content. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing these videos each and every day. Even if you never watch another video that I do, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see a new video every day, and it'll remind you to go take another step on your own dream and work towards mastering whatever medium you're passionate about. So let's get into playing. I feel like I'm a little rambly today, and I just want to get in here and start playing. So again, how I usually approach a scene, because I'm just opening up this file again since we last hung out and talked. So what I usually do is I'll play it a couple times and see what I don't like. And for me, the thing that really sticks out, like I said, is that jump. It's just too rough. I should have probably pushed in another couple of poses. But again, I try to keep these videos to about an hour, so you guys can keep along and do a little bit each and every day with me, or spend an hour on your own dreams and just listen to me in the background ramble on about hoopla. Who knows? So let's go ahead and get playing. Well, let's turn our nerve curves back on and turn our controls back on. And I did save another version. Remember to save multiple versions and to save often. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all the things we've talked about so far, check out the links in the description down below. Now, enough rambling. Let's start animating. So I'm going to cut my frame range, so I'm just looking at about frame 120 to frame, let's just go 132. So this is really just a 12 frame thing, but I think this is where the bulk of the doing stuff on ones or twos is going to really have to come into play. So let's start there. I think I want to start at this pose is okay. This pose, I'm going to get that. Let's start off with the hip first. Let's go Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. The hip is pretty important for this thing. So let's look at our Translate Y here. We'll go a little bit lower there, maybe a little bit higher here. Just arc that off a little bit better. And let's look at our Translate Z from there to there. It's okay. We could probably tweak that curve a little bit more. Still would kind of like to hold here a little bit more, so maybe we could go up and over a little bit. Just to kind of hold at the top of that arc a little bit more. And let's look at those Translate Ys. Again, just so we have a little bit more hold at the top here. See how that feels. see. Again, just try and get this part so we get a little bit of slowing right in the middle. There. Translate Y, maybe it's a little too high here, and we'll start going down a little bit more. There. Because remember, this is going to stop our, this pull right here is going to stop our translation. So, actually, I think I'll go a little more like that. A little bit higher, a little bit over. Okay, and let's just keep making sure we're getting a little bit smoother curves here, even though we have everything kind of on ones, that we're still getting an okay curve. I think I want to push the arc a little bit more. So I'll take the stuff at the top and we'll push it a little bit higher, just so there's a little more curvature to it. And we'll go ahead and bring that down a little more. This should probably be about our highest there. Maybe we'll bring this down a little bit lower. Let's look at that rotate X here. Maybe go a little bit straighter there. Still feel like this should be more like that. This should be more like that. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. This should maybe be almost there. A little bit lower. Yeah, there seems to be a pretty uneven movement there. This should be more down, maybe even back further. Up a little bit more. too sharp right now. Let's look at it now. A little bit better. Again, we're just looking at how this hip arc is going. Zoom out from there. Okay, starting to feel a little better. Again, we want to make sure that we're not getting too much jankiness in our curve here, but we look okay. Again, let's look at that. Let's start getting into our posing a little bit more. Get our translate Y here. Go a little bit higher there. That's fine. Push it back a little bit more. So like this might be a little bit too far forward here. And drag it back a little bit more. Knee twist going forward. I think that one's fine, but I think once we get here, go up over a little bit more. Look at our translate Z. Bring that up a little bit. And look at our translate Y. Still working okay. Let's see. Okay. And let's look at this foot. Push it down a little bit more. Drag it back. Lift it up a little bit. peeling off there. Scooping up a little bit more over. This one maybe be further out. And let's check our graph here. Actually, let's go about 134 here. And we'll punch that foot in there. I think we could probably take everything we have here and give me one more frame in between there. Just so it doesn't hit and slide, but hits and then slides. And give it 136 here. I want that to hit a little bit harder though. So maybe we should space it out a little bit better on the hips here. Which means I'm going to move my spacing back a little bit more throughout. Just so it hits that pole a little bit harder. Okay, let's look at our translates again and make sure that we didn't jank anything up there. And look at our translate Z here. Should maybe be a little bit lower, a little bit back, a little bit lower. Alright, clean that up one more time here. Feels like it hits a little bit harder now. But I'm going to have to readjust some of the translation here. This one might be a little too much. Okay, with a little bit of that though. Yeah, let's take everything we have on this hand. Go there. Delete that one. Keep the IK weight there so it's still going. Alright, now we have it there. There. Let's grab both of those. Let's set them there. Delete whatever was there. Hold this and 0 there, so it's still going. And maybe we'll just do a switch right here. Here we'll want to bring it over a little bit more. Out. Bend that up a little bit more. This over, so it's trying to get there. We'll go a little bit wider, up and out, something like that. And then get into this pose here. Delete that. I think I actually like something more like this anyways. So let's find a pose that's more like that for our positioning. I feel like it works a little better. Let's give that a little bit of a wrap around there. Might be too broken. Let's see. And then yeah, let's use that instead. And then we're ready to go to like 150. That's fine. Now let's just hold that. Delete that one, and that one, and that one. And we said what, 147 was fine. 134, bring that to 145. But we're gonna drop it down here. Let's look at that now. Up. Let's see. Okay. I think this might be a little too rotated around. I think something probably more like maybe it's just the thumb itself that's kind of getting me. I think it's just the thumb. So let's see if we can get a little better hand pose there. And let's look at the index here. Middle, there, ring there, there. Take this pose and hold that to 144. Okay. And then I think I want to do one more frame here. So we hit about there. That would still be there. Delete this. Delete that. And turn that back to 1 or 0. Take that over. Maybe one frame sooner. It should be higher. And let's turn that to 1. Up and over. keep that full path of action flowing a little bit more. That should be more like this. This, we want it to be up a little bit higher and over a little bit more. And then hit this one. This should be closer. And thumb should be out here. Oof to that thumb. It's not the greatest thumb in the world. Okay, let's see if we can try and find something a little bit better. This one should be in more, but still the wrist should be dragging a little bit. Bring that forward a frame. Let's see now. And this one should actually be more like that. And so I'll just do a little bit. And let's try and get another breakdown in between there, that's fine. We'll take that and put it one frame sooner. Yeah, let's see that now. Now I do want this to be a little bit further forward, so let's look at the rotate Y there. Still got a lot of polish to go on that, but at least it's somewhat working. ourselves from 31 to 32 to 33, another frame. Let's see. Okay, go ahead and save that and see how we're doing on time. Oh, we still have time. Good. Okay. I was thinking it was a lot later than it is already. Okay. Now I do want to get this other arm working and working better than what we have it. So I think this one should be over a little bit more. Try and get it so we can see a little bit of that hand on the other side. Right, something kind of like that. But we're going to use that ridiculously large thumb here, which only looks bad in a couple of angles. Otherwise, I think these hands are really nice, but we try and get it so that you get a little bit of cuppage there in the thumb. Doesn't want to work so well. Hold that till at 145. And again, we'll throw some more stuff in there eventually, but maybe a little bit longer. This pose here should be a little bit down more and starting to turn there. Try and keep that thumb out of there. Again, I'm not going to do too much polishing stuff. It's just trying to get the idea to work right now. We really want to do pretty straight there. Let's look at that now. I'm sure we'll have to do some spacing on our translates there so that those work a little better. And this one, I'll try and probably drag it a little bit more. Delete that. Look at translate wise there. save our file, and then the other thing I want to do is clean up the movement on this other arm. I just feel like that's not that interesting. So I feel like that's an okay pose overall. Maybe lower it a little bit more just so our silhouette's a little bit clearer. Everything here. I'm going to go a little bit faster on this arm than the other one. So I think that should hit about 133, but be a little bit higher there. Something like that. So we hit that. Let's switch it to distinctly IK instead of FK here, so we can get the pose in there that works. Be our breakdown between those two extremes. So let's see, we got that one. Still want to try and get a decent silhouette if I can. Get an elbow twist down. Up and over, back, open, so we can do something like elbow down, and go a little bit up, over, but we don't want to intersect with that leg. And this hand would have to be more like that. And flip it up a little bit more. And bring it down just a little bit as well. It's not perfect, but it's a lot more workable than what we had where we started. And I want to definitely go down a little bit lower, like right here. Let's really get that dip down. Here we probably have this arm swinging forward, right? So I can swing back there. what are we looking at for timing? I think that's okay pass at that stuff. It still needs a lot more improvement, but again, this is kind of more just of a breakdown pass. We kind of did our main keys last time, and this is more of a breakdown, so it's just kind of how it gets from those points a little bit more, so it's not a finished polish pass at all. Finished polish pass. There you go. That's the correct way to say that. So let's try and think we're probably at an hour, but I want to do at least a cursory pass of that run there before I call it here. So let's look at from 96 to 120. Actually, really 110 to 120. So let's look at that foot here. And we want to get this one actually up in the air there. And land it there, right? So we can get that. This foot, I want to get it up in the air here. Actually, it should be up in the air here. Down. It should be like up, down. Let's see. Yeah, let's go translate Y. Maybe this should be our highest point here. This should be our second highest point here. Go down there. 122 here. Bring that, let's see. Maybe that one should be up in the air here. Let's see. And that should be another high point here. Which means that would be another low one, right? Okay, we'll cut down the rotation. translate. Gotta rotate X here. Like 124 here. Doesn't like it there, that's fine. It's too low here, so I need to pull it back. To get a little more straight out here. Let's see with the neck. Looking forward a little bit more. And we'll add a little bit of rotate down there. And this one will do heel roll there, slap it down. And this one should be there. No, it should be there, but we should delete that and put it right about here. Let's see. Alright, we're still getting there. And that should drag it back a little bit, get that knee twist going forward. This should be a heel roll up. Put that on, delete that. And this one, get rid of rotate, or maybe do a little bit there. Go a little bit up there. Let's see. And let's better translate these here. Let's put those where they need to be. Okay, we gotta clean that up, I'm sure. Get rid of that, and get rid of that. And let's look at all of our rotate X's here. We'll get rid of everything in the middle. Oop, don't need that. Need this one. Okay. Rotate X, rotate X, rotate X. Rotate X, rotate X. Yeah, rotate X. Okay. So, I want all of those there. I like all of that stuff there. So let's take right about here with our rotate X and hit it about 13. translate the Y on the hips might be too much. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah, let's see. Maybe let's raise it up a little bit more. Let's see. And then I think I'm going to add 2 frames from 110 to 112. Yeah, let's see how that feels. Just get that transition a little better. I did it in the wrong place here. So let's get rid of this here. Just one frame. Be nice. Come on. Grab all of those and push it over a single frame. Go ahead and hit that there, but keep that foot pointed there. Try and get those hips working a little bit better. They're a little laggy now. Right here, they should be forward. the steps, like cut out an extra step. Let's try to make these steps a little bit heavier too. Maybe a little less foot roll. This one a little bit higher here. A little less foot roll. We can drag it a little bit more. And now let's look here. We'll put a little bit of weight over that foot. A little bit of weight over that foot. A little bit of weight over that foot. And over there. And look at those translate X's. And let's see. I think maybe it's just standing up too straight when it's lower down. I like it a little bit more. So let's look at the rotate X's one more time. And we'll bring those back up or back down a little more. Or a little bit closer. There we go. And let's look at this. That could still be a little bit further back there. And let's look at adding a little bit of a rotate Y here. Rotate Y there. Rotate Y there. And there. Alright. And again, we're going to have to do a couple of passes, I'm sure, to get this working because it still has a long way to go there. And let's amp these up a little bit more. Let's see. Starting to look a little better. Do a little bit of rotate Z there. A little bit over that side. A little bit over this side. Put that way. Yeah, let's see. Again, we're just kind of laying down the breakdown of all this stuff. Nothing super polished just yet. So that's flat. I want that to go forward a little bit more. That's flat. I want that to go back. And this one can go forward. Alright, still is a long way to go with this, but at least it's starting to work there. Alright, so I think we're probably hitting a little bit longer on this thing, so let's look at the whole thing from beginning to end. And remember, we polished up the run a little bit. It still needs a lot of work. I think I'm going to need to retime it or give me a little more spacing for it. I think just pushing it too much information and too short of a thing. So what am I at, 160 now? At 153. Okay, turn the background top on, hide the controls. Let's look at this thing as a whole right now. We still have a long way to go, but we got a lot of needed breakdowns in there. I think the jump's looking okay, and the landing, the run still has a lot to be desired, and we gotta get some of that beginning stuff working a little bit better. Definitely need to get this portion here, this hold. I think we go a little bit longer, and definitely add some more intrigue there. I feel like it's not very good yet. That little goofy run. I almost like leaving it there. It's really funky. And then I feel like that works pretty well. That smack into the pole. And then we gotta do a little bit better there. And then add probably another 20 frames of just kind of resting till we get back. But we've got another part down. This might end up being a 6-parter because it's going a little bit slower. We've got a lot more action in this shot than we did in some of the last ones. But I think we're getting there, slowly but surely. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm having fun doing this series with you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. A little more in-depth breakdowns of doing longer shots with more acting beats and more action in here, so we can do something a little bit more interesting than just what one session would allow us to do, play around with some more ideas. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Ida Rentoul Outhwaite, and of course, I'm probably mispronouncing that. Let me know, comments down below. How can one remain really inspired when leg-of-mutton matters constantly intervene? So try not to let real life intervene with your creative life. Try to be able to set aside time and space and mental space so that you can create, you can work on your dreams, and try not to get bogged down by the day-to-day things that are going to come up. They just are. Life can be fun and difficult, but you got to figure out how to work and create and do within that stuff. So I love you guys lots. We still have lots of work to do on this one. Probably going to be at least 3 more parts, if not 4, because there's going to be a lot of action and stuff in here, and I'd like to be able to show you guys, you know, the stuff that's going to take a little bit longer and how things work. But we got our first kind of main key pose in there. I'm not saying they're great, amazing keys, but just the key points to our shot in there. And we definitely went in and added some breakdowns to pretty much the middle portion. So we'll probably do breakdowns for the beginning and the end part tomorrow, and then we'll go in and we'll start doing our in-betweens in there and really knocking things out after that, and kind of a rough idea of what we'll be doing. It may change sometimes. I'm not just get in there and whatever bugs me is the thing that I want to do first. So we'll see. But I love you guys lots. Remember, if you're watching this, you are the creative future. So go out there and make something amazing today, because I believe in you. You can do it. And I think that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing. Keep on creating and being awesome. And throw me comments down below. I'm always happy to throw you a thumbs up on any of the stuff that you guys are coming up with. Love seeing all the amazing stuff you guys make each and every day. It's such a fun little community that we've started here, and I think you guys are great and amazing, so keep it up. And I'm getting rambly, so we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.